Norfolk and Suffolk Aviation Museum, based in Flixton, in Suffolk, just outside Bungay. For those that don't know the geography quite as well, that's not far from Norwich. We've got about 60 aircraft and about 50,000 exhibits spread around that site which we own. Slight piece of history, we bought the land in 1975 and Bungay Town Council were after getting rid of a whole load of paving slabs. So we said, yes please. I wasn't involved at the time, I stress, but we said, yes please. They came and dumped them on the surface so we don't actually sink into the mud anymore. The Environment Agency found out about this about 2 years later, said you can't do that. Whoops, too late. If you want to take 25,000 tonnes of paving slabs off the site, then yeah, please feel free to come and do so. So we've been given special dispensation, but we are definitely not allowed to put anything else down on the ground on the floodplains. Where isn't the page down? No? No? That one? No. Okay, thank you. Right, okay, so we do 3 activities within the STEM front, the first of which is Scout Aviation Skills Days. We are capable of running the whole of Stage 1 and Stage 2 of the Scout Aviation badges in a day. Everybody gets a wonderfully complicated program like this, which is a little simpler when you're actually a participant. The only one that gets the complicated version is me. If you're Group 3, you just follow the 3rd column down and it tells you where to go. If you're one of the people running it, you just find your initials and that tells you when the groups are going to turn up. But we have about 100 young people turn up each time. The next of them is on May the 11th. That's fully booked. The one in September is fully booked, and the one in October, as of yesterday evening, is fully booked. We're desperately trying to find a place where we can get enough volunteers in to actually lay another one on this year, because I've already got about 20 on the waiting list now for that. But about 300 youngsters each year come along and take part in this. Say mostly in Stage 1, Stage 2 badges, which are aimed at the sort of 6 to 10 year old. We do some Stage 3. There is one group up there that you can possibly work out if the code is doing Stage 3. We do various activities with local skills. Most of what we do at the moment is about World War II. It's part of the national curriculum at age about 6 or 7, 7 or 8 possibly, and they come along and do that. But we are now getting into the science of flight, which is now also a part of the national curriculum at primary school age. We've run a few, we're building on the scheme. We plan to run twice as many next year, 2020, and twice as many again in 2021. In order to achieve that, we're looking at getting an Arts Council grant. We've been told we've got a really good chance. Apparently the Arts Council supports science and technology, engineering and mathematics. Sounds a bit contrary, but maybe we get an Arts Council grant to get a professional person into the museum 2 days a week to develop that programme for us and to recruit the volunteers to run it. I'm working with the Association for Suffolk Museums at the moment to put that grant bid together. But say the aim is in 2020 we're going to run twice as many next year and twice as many the year after. Incidentally, sort of half going back to the previous slide, the Guide and Brownie now have badges on that. Breaking into the Guide Association, so to speak, is proving rather difficult at the moment. So if anybody has contacts locally there, we'd appreciate that, because we would like to get into that market as well. Coming on to slightly the older age range, up to now most of the stuff has been for the 6 to 10 age range. We decided, or more accurately I decided, it would be a good idea to try and get some involvement from slightly older children, which is what the rest of this presentation is about. This is aimed at the 10 to 14 year olds. So we've got workshops. Children, despite what people will tell you, do actually like to make stuff. We got it together, but they said it couldn't be done. Who was they? Well, they was our committee, at the time a committee of trustees. They said you can't do that. And they said the tools, they're all wrong for young people. Can't possibly use the tools. The risks are terrible, and the insurance company will never wear it. So I went away again, and I started thinking about this. I worked out that actually most 10 to 14-year-olds are taller than our senior engineer. So that one went away quite quickly. I also had a few young people use quite a few of the tools that they would be using. And I then went away again, and because I do it in the Scout Association, I wrote a full risk analysis or a risk management plan for the event. If anybody would like a copy of the risk management plan, it's very comprehensive. It took me several hours of work, and then I approached our insurance brokers. And I said, look, we want to do this. Here is the risk management plan. And they said, great, we've put it on file. That's it? Yes, they said, that's it. You seem to have thought of all the possibilities. You appear to have it all managed. Why would there be a problem? So I then went back to the Committee of Trustees, who said, oh, all right, well, I guess we'll do that, but I can't see many people wanting to do it. We've now run 4 of these. The next is coming up in May. We have had around about 150 youngsters through so far. Every occasion has been fully booked. We run, because of the risk management plan and because it's actually quite sensible, we run very close supervision. So at the bottom here, you can see a group that are learning to solder. So there's 2 instructors and 4 young people, and that's the ratio that we use. We have 2 volunteers with 4 youngsters in most of what we're doing. So they're learning to solder. We did have one minor incident. The only injury we've had is when a young lad picked up the soldering iron the wrong way round and discovered that they get a bit warm at the other end. So we do soldering. We have them building a basic circuit. We run 2 sessions each day, and kids can come in and do 1 session in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. The electronics, for instance, runs a basic course in the morning where you essentially learn to solder and put together a very simple circuit, and then in the afternoon they can go on to something more complex if they wish, or they can come back the next time we run one and do the complex one in the afternoon. They build a bird box. They start with a sheet of wood, and they cut the pieces out on a very highly powerful saw. Again, on close supervision, put that all together. They can learn to fly a circuit on a flight simulator. It's not just have a go, it's 2.5 hours, and at the end of it they are flying a solo circuit on Microsoft Flight Sim or X-Plane. One at the bottom, they strip a lawnmower engine out. They take a complete lawnmower engine, they take it to pieces, and they put it back together again. Unfortunately, it won't run, but they've taken it to pieces. They've seen all the bits inside, it moved, you can turn it over, and they've seen how it all works. Piece at the top and the piece at the bottom, on the right-hand side, apologies, top and bottom, is engineering. They made an iPhone stand last year. Again, they started with a sheet of metal, they cut the pieces out, they prepared the pieces of metal, they bent it to shape, they riveted it together, and they did a small weld. So they did that in 2.5 hours, starting with a sheet of metal. Incidentally, the young lady in the middle of the bottom right picture is not one of those taking part. She is a volunteer, and she was an instructor for the day. She's 15 years old. She restored a light aeroplane, a light gyrocopter at the museum last summer. Stripped it down, did it entirely under supervision. So that's possibly something else that we should be talking about. In addition to that, we have another base which I don't have a photograph of, and that is where kids learn to wire a house. We've got, our electricians have made a dummy house on a large board, and the kids put the wires in, and if they get it all right, when they turn the light switches on, the lights come on. I would stress that there's only 5 volts going through the system, not 240. But they put that all together, and the house wires up, the plugs can come on, you can plug things in, and again, lights will come on because that's just a demonstration. So that's what we do. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to do that, or I'm happy to go away and sit down.
You charge for that?
We do. We charge £5 for the day for membership of the museum, because that was one thing that the insurance company insisted. They said, in order to be covered, using your tools, the young people must be members of the museum. So we charge £5 for the day and £10 per session. So it's £25 for the day or £15 for a single session. And that covers the cost of materials and all of that. And we make a bit of profit out of it. I won't deny it's a way of encouraging people into the museum.
Just as a matter of interest, we spent best part of 5 years building a Coyote in the Wood Academy in Wolverhampton, and we had one cut finger, as I remember, in all that time.
Yeah, it's, as I say, you know, the committee of trustees were worried about accidents, and we had one.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you very much.